welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be doing two looks using the Sugar palette from Face Candy. I bought this palette from the Hush app. It has free shipping and it has like a bunch of palettes that are all dupes for high-end palettes. So I was like, alright, I don't have the Too Faced Peach palette, so I would really love to try that. So I ordered this palette. I've seen one review on this palette and it was bad, so we're going to try out a couple different looks today and see if we can make it work for us. So if you are not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below and keep watching if you'd like to see a couple different looks of this palette. Alright, so the first eye look I'm going to be using is going to be an all matte look. I'm first going to go into the color Glazed. I'm going to put my brush right here. There's a lot of like powder in the pan when I do that, and like, let's see. If I hit the brush like even lightly, you can see like it all flies off. So yeah, I'm gonna go into my crease with that color first. I'm not gonna tap it off really, just once really softly to get the excess, and then I'm gonna blend that into my crease just to give me a transition shade to try and blend all the other colors on. Not that I'm gonna put on a lot. For this look, I'm like trying to go for like that soft peach look. After I get that blended in to my crease, I'm going to head over to my other eye. Next, I'm going to actually go into the color Latte. I know it's a little bit lighter than Glazed, but just to see how, just to test out the palette, just to try another color. So I'm going to put that like kind of at the top of my crease just to lighten up the top and lighten up that color a little bit, I guess. There's a lot of powder coming out with this color too. So I'm using a pretty fluffy brush. This is a Morphe brush from the eye set you can get at Ulta. But yeah, I like how those two colors look together. Alright, so the next color I'm going to be using is going to be the brown color from the palette. I'm going to go in with Hot Cocoa. It's right here. I'm just going to stick the end of my brush into it lightly and pack it onto the outer V of my eye. So in the pan, I think this color looks a lot darker, and in my eye it looks a little bit lighter, so I don't think this color really stays true to what it looks like in the pan, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad color or anything. It's just not as dark as I thought it was going to be. Maybe we can build it up. I'll try and build it up a tiny bit. Alright. Let's blend that in a little bit on the other side. Alright, now I'm going to head to my other eye. Put it in the outer V of my eye. Just pat it on so that it's not too dark. And I'm going to blend that out so that it's not a harsh line between. Alright, overall I think that this color is working out pretty good. Alright, so now I'm going to go into the color Candy, and this color was extremely patchy yesterday. I'm going to see if I can get it to work today. And I'm just going to pat my brush into that color, and yesterday my brush was wet, today my brush is dry, so that may also make a difference. So yeah, the color is definitely not as pigmented as it is in the pan at all, but you might be able to build it. The color looks kind of matte, but there's like a few sparkles in it, so if you're expecting it to be 100% matte, that's not how it is, but it's not like a shimmer or anything. It's just there are some sparkles in it. So I'm just patting this all over my eyelid to make sure it's covering, and I kind of pat, and sometimes I like slide it over where the other color is, trying to transition them together. So it's not like a harsh line in the middle of my eye. Alright, I think I'm going to take that first fluffy brush that I used and just fluff it on my crease and blend it on both eyes. Yeah, I still think this looks a little patchy. I don't know if you guys can see this, but here on my eye it's like really dark here and down here, and then like here on the other edges it's not quite as dark. And then it's darker here, so let's go back into Hot Cocoa and see if we can just build up that brown a little more. I pretty much blended it to no more existence. Alright, yeah, I'm not sure there's much else we can do. It looks like the color built back up a tiny bit, but the peach is still pretty patchy. I'm going to try one more time to get rid of how patchy that is. And you can see that there's I'm really getting a lot of powder off of my brush, and I'm barely touching it, and it's not coming off the brush. And I use the Anastasia brushes for everything, so I don't know if it's necessarily the brush. I think it might be just shadow. Alright, so I'm going to add some mascara. Actually going to add some of that glaze color. It was the first color we went in with. And just see if I can blend that out a little more, because it's just not blending super well, those two colors. Alright, so the mascara I'll be going in with today is my favorite mascara. It's the False Lashes Mascara from Essence. This is only $4.99 from Ulta, and I think that's a really good deal for, I think it works so good. So I'm only going to apply this to my top lashes right now, just to be done with the top half of my eye. So you can see it like makes your lashes look, I think it really makes your lashes look quite different and really bold. And I like it because they don't clump together too much. Like I have some other lashes, like the L'Oreal Butterfly mascara I use in my lashes. It kind of makes your lashes clump together, and this doesn't. So I really like that. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this flat brush and I'm going to put it into the color Chocolate Cake, because I haven't tried that color yet. It's like a darker brown. I'm going to push that underneath my bottom lash just to see how the color looks. Yeah, this color looks pretty similar to what it looks like in the pan, and it feels like it's going on pretty well. I just push it up against my bottom lash and try not to stab myself in the eye. Alright, now that I have that applied under my eye, I'm going to take this pointy brush from Morphe. This also comes in that pack you can get from Ulta. I think it's like $18 for 6 eye brushes. And I'm just going to try and buff that out underneath my eye, so it's not quite as harsh. Alright, so I think finally I'm going to apply some mascara to the bottom of my eye. So if I was going to judge this palette just from this look, I would give it, like, say 10 is like the best palette you've ever had in your life, and 1 is like you're using cat poop for your makeup. I would definitely give this maybe a 5. Like, my eyes are not that great, but they're not that bad. Like, they are kind of patchy, but it's not something that, like, if I was looking at you and your eyes were patchy, I probably wouldn't notice it unless I got really close. So it's not like so patchy that it's not workable. I would say that it looks okay. The peach color, which I almost got this palette specifically for the peach color, I'm pretty disappointed in that color. So if you're getting this palette for that color, I would go somewhere else. I know there's other drugstore palettes that are duping this Too Faced peach palette. I would go for those. So yeah, so far this palette is a 5, maybe even a 4. It's definitely not my favorite at this point in time. Yeah, so now on to the next look. Alright, so the next look is going to be using more of the shimmers in this palette. I'm going to start the same way I did before. So I'm going to go in with Latte and just blend it out on the crease, just to give it a little bit of a transition. Alright, so now that I have that transition shade in there, I have cleaned off my Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. I'm going to go in with that brush because it's a brush that I always use. I'm going to go in with that into the Blackberry Tart, Blackberry Tart color. It's this dark, it's the dark color right here. I'm sorry if my mirror just flashed you guys. So I'm going to just put that into the outer V. See if this is as patchy as the last color. Guys, can you blend that out a little? I think this color so far is working out pretty well. Alright, now that I have that purple blueberry shade, Blueberry Tart, on the outside, I'm just going to blend that a little bit with my brush. I haven't reapplied anything to it. I'm just trying to get it to blend in a little bit before I add more color. I'm gonna go now with a shimmer, and shimmers usually work better when the brush is wet, so I'm gonna get my brush wet. And now I'm gonna use the color Blueberry Pie. It's like almost the same color as the last color, but it has more sparkles in it. And I am going to place that into the center of my lip. I have not used this color yet, so I'm gonna put it a little bit towards the outside just to see how it applies on top of the other color. Yeah, you can see all the gold. It has like a bunch of purple sparkles in it, like literal sparkles. I think it's applying okay. Alright, I am not a fan of this Blueberry Pie shade so far. Alright, so now I'm going to move into another color. I'm going to go with Gingerbread right next to that in the middle. See if I can like maybe fade into lighter colors as we progress across the eye and just get a good idea of how the shimmers are in comparison to the mattes. If all the shimmers are great, I mean the palette's still only $10. And you get free shipping, so it's not like you're paying for shipping for a palette that sucks all the way around. There's quite a few shades in here, so. Okay, I think the shimmers actually apply pretty well. All right, so I think the last color I'm gonna go in with is called Cinnamon Sugar. It's like the gold color right here. I'm going to put that on the inner corner of my lid, or the inner part of my lid. I'm going with a giant brush just to apply it quickly. This is the Morphe eyelid brush from that set. Alright, this eye I'm liking a lot. This eye needs some work. I'm going to try and just take the brush I used last time and see if I can just kind of blend those into each other. I actually think this is turning out okay. It's a little dirty on the top. I'm going to see if I can fix that up a little bit by going into maybe the glaze shade. That's kind of the first shade we use in our crease, and just very lightly move my brush back and forth. Just try and get those all to blend out. Alright, I think that's blending out okay. I might go in once more with a little bit more of that Cinnamon Sugar shade. So lighten my eye up. Alright, I'm gonna apply some eyeliner. I'll be right back and we can put on mascara. So now I'm gonna go in with, let's see if there's a color we haven't really used yet, just to try it out. There's like a really dark green shimmer on the bottom corner called Licorice. We're gonna try Licorice. Just to see. This might not look good at all, but I just want to see how this shimmer works. Alright, so I think this is going to be my finished look. I'm going to apply some mascara. So my overall review on this palette is that I would not recommend it. I'd give it probably a 5.5, a 6. The shimmers are way better than the mattes, but I still don't think that this palette is worth the $10. It was worth trying, and I probably will reach for a couple of the shimmers from here sometimes, but my favorite shimmers were the nude colors that I already have in a million other palettes. There is like one green shimmer in here that we weren't able to try out, but I do think that shimmer works pretty well as well. So if you're interested in the shimmers in this palette, it might be worth the $10 to check out, but overall, I would say that the difficulty of blending and the mattes in this palette make this palette a miss, definitely. So thank you so much for watching today. If you guys want to see more looks with individual palettes, like a couple looks of palette, let me know down below what palette you'd like to see. And yeah, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.